I posed this question, I think like a week ago or something like that, and I thought it'd be a fun, interesting thing to discuss. And instead of me coming up with all the answers, I'll just let the members of Killer Flicks show us their answers. So what I put was, I was thinking about Trent from the Friday remake. Big surprise, I know. And a question formed in my mind that would be a great topic. What makes an acceptable douchebag in horror? Is there a line that can be crossed? Can a character be too annoying? If you can, give me an example of a character you love and a character you hate, yet they are both douchebags, and tell me why. I know I'm asking a lot, but I'm going to do a video about this, and here's the video. And I need your help. You will be represented. Okay, so let me pull up the comments. Okay, here we go. Justin Koch, he says, in the wrong hands, Stu would have been annoying as fuck in Scream. Instead, he's such a good character that we're still connecting theories that he could still be alive because we want him to return. Meanwhile, the killers in Scream 5 were so annoying that I honestly wanted to pretend that they never happened. That's a great answer, actually. That's a really great answer. And some of you might not be annoyed by the killers in Scream 5, but I get why some people would consider them to be annoying. So, yeah. Destiny, she says, the husband from The Watcher didn't believe his wife, tried to make her feel like the one that's wrong in the situation, and then made a joke at her expense in front of her, thinking she couldn't understand. I need to give The Watcher another chance because I didn't really care for it the first time, but I feel like there's probably some good subtext in the movie. I need to check it out again for sure. But I do remember the husband being a jerk, a douchebag for sure. Let me make sure you guys are good. Okay, yeah. Okay. And you guys feel free to give any answers you got too, you know. Rosemary, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Chris says, I loved Watcher, one of my favorites of that year. I definitely need to give it another chance because for some reason it just did not click with me the first time, you know. Douche, I love Wooderson. Wooderson is the perfect example. Like, Wooderson is awesome, you know? And I don't even consider him a douchebag because he's just a cool guy, but he's got an edge to him. I think that's the best way to look at Wooderson. I don't consider him anything like Trent, you know? That's just annoying and an asshole. Like, if you were having a party at Wooderson's house, I don't think he would be getting on to everybody about touching his couch. You know what I mean? Wooderson is just an awesome character. Here we go. Michael. He says, I loved Wendy in the OG prom night. She gets the vote for the one I liked if females are allowed in the choices. If not, it would be Bud from Halloween 2. One I hated was Trey from Freddy versus Jason. He's right. He's right on all counts. You know, but everybody loves Bud, right? And Bud is kind of a douchebag. But you know what? Wendy is like, that is one of the best chase scenes in all of horror. The Wendy scene. Like, she steals the spotlight from Jamie Lee Curtis. She's that good. I don't know if I considered Wendy a douchebag, though. Now, I will say the main bully girl from Carrie, the first Carrie, I think she was a great example of an acceptable douchebag, meaning that she's not that annoying. She served her purpose, I guess, for the actual plot of the movie quite well. She didn't cross the line, even though I guess she did kind of cross the line. See, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if I'm right. You know, you get a little foggy on these things. One character, this is Marie. She says, one character who is 100% a douche nozzle, I like that word, in my opinion, is Jessica from the 2009 version of Sorority Row. And I know I should hate it because of that, but Lee Pipes, who plays her, just has this certain charisma, and the way she delivers the lines, the way she punches them out, just makes her kind of delicious. Annoying, but a character I genuinely love to hate because she embodies the role so perfectly and embraces it fully. Marie could not have said that more eloquently. I think, and I think that's what it is. Maybe it comes down to the performance too, because when you're playing a douchebag, you have a spectrum there that you can kind of stay in, and you can go too far with it. And maybe that's what it was with Travis Van Winkle for Trent. I think he's a great actor, and I think he does a good job with the character, but maybe he goes a little bit too far with the character. He didn't write the dialogue, so I can't blame him for that. But maybe there's just a way to deliver it, maybe your facial expressions, maybe your body language, that kind of keep you in the audience's good graces, yet still they know that you are the villain or the douchebag or the asshole. You know, we love douchebags in horror movies, right? They make the soup that much tastier, okay? But they can go too far, and I think when you're just like begging for them to be off the screen, then that's when it crosses the line. Now she continues, a character I just hate. Can I just say every single character in Welcome to the Jungle 2007, but especially the two, were created to be deliberately aggravating and douchey, because the filmmakers forgot one core factor. You need to give the audience something to anchor to. You need to round them in a way that compounds the douche aspect and gives us a reason, however small, to bind to the character and care. When you just create a role devoid of any of that, it's not fun watching the bitchy aspect. It's just lifeless. Maria, you need to just get your own damn YouTube channel, because you could definitely, you have a way of explaining yourself. You know, I loved her answer. She kills it. I'll go ahead and I'm going to shoot. I actually posted in here. I'm going to cheat a little. Buddy Revell from 3 O'Clock High is a well fleshed out D-bag. His parameters are clearly drawn out, and he completely suits the plot of the movie. If you touch him, you're dead. That point is even set up in his character profile, and the goal is for the protagonist to overcome his own fear. So yeah, I mean, I think Buddy Revell, for the reason I just gave there, I think he has an overall motivation in the plot of the movie. He is the main baddie, and maybe that's part of it too. He's a douchebag, but he's also the main bad guy in the movie, right? And he's almost set up like a Terminator type character. He's scary, right? So everything hinges on him as your villain, and if he fails, if he becomes annoying, then your whole movie fails, right? So yeah, I'll read a couple more. Jack Parrish says, Trent is a good example of a character I hate. Tree from Happy Death Day is an example of a character I love. Yes, very true. You start off hating her character and want her to die, but that's the point, because someone wants her dead, and of course she repeats the day. In search of finding who's killing her, her long list of enemies forces her to realize how horrible she is to everyone. We learn of her past that made her that way, and she learns the error of her ways, tries to make things right, and becomes a good person in the end. Man, Jack, that is a great answer. That is a fantastic answer. The members of Killer Flicks are really fucking smart, okay? Jesus. Shannon McMillan says, the biggest one I hate definitely is the douchebag in Freddy vs. Jason. I can't think of any I like. Yeah, he was a douchebag for sure. Alex Nash says, I say Trent fits the typical douchebag role and hits every mark. Maybe a tad bit over the mark and on the nose, but he crossed off each box. Yeah, and you know what? It's right down the middle with Trent. There are many that love Trent. I mean, a lot of you guys love Trent. So, you know, I can't say you're wrong. Maybe he does check a lot of the boxes. I guess for me, maybe character-wise, he didn't really have much of an arc at all. There was no lesson learned at all. At the end of the day, I just think he was too much, you know? And I don't want to put all of the blame on Trent. There were a lot of those characters in the Friday remake. And maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know. I found them highly annoying. And to me, it felt like they were trying to capture that magic that movies like Superbad did. Remember the characters in Superbad? How they're just really aggressive with their comedy. But the comedy's written so well in Superbad that it works. Whereas this one, I felt like it was like a comedy disguised as a Friday the 13th movie. And all the Friday the 13th stuff was great. You know, a freaking killer Jason. But the characters felt like they were trying to be funny, but the jokes, there was no punchline. You know, they were just trying to be like douchey, edgy digbags. You know, not all of them, but I think a lot. Not just Trent. I think Trent was just like the leader, right? And so maybe that's what it was. And hell, maybe even if Trent was the only guy that was the douchebag in the movie, maybe I wouldn't have minded it as much. I don't know. What's up, guys? You are at the end of the DD Live clip. What I do is I like to clip these out if I think the topic is important or something that's newsworthy. So thank you for watching. And if you want to watch more, you can go over here. You can go over here, click on one of those. And yeah, hopefully I can do this for 20 seconds, which I think I did. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching, guys.